name is Sarah Chaining, and I'm a student at Western Technical College in La Crosse, Wisconsin. But I'm also a line cook at one of our downtown restaurants called Four Sisters. Today, I will be giving you a summary of my long report on why replacing old equipment with new equipment in the kitchen is a good idea for safety reasons. Those safety reasons will keep the kitchen staff safe, as well as the customers the kitchen staff cooks for.
My purpose today is to inform you on why it is a good idea to replace old equipment with new. But first, I would like to ask you two questions. The first question is, how many of you have been injured working in a kitchen or know someone who was injured working in a kitchen? Speaking from personal experience, in the last year, I received a second-degree burn from faulty equipment, and I know that kitchen injuries happen on a daily basis. My second question is, how many people have eaten something at a restaurant and then later felt ill? Again, speaking from personal experience, my sister and I were just both at McDonald's. We ate the same food and we even shared the food. And later we both became ill from the food. I ask you these two questions because they both pertain to kitchen safety. The National Restaurant Association, which is an association dedicated to making the restaurant industry better, reports that the industry employs 13.1 million people of the United States workforce, so protecting employees from harm should be at the top list of priorities for employers across the United States in the food industry. In addition, according to the Home Food Safety website, an estimated 48 million people will become ill every year from food poisoning. Injuries and illness can come from many sources in the kitchen, but they should not come from damaged equipment or equipment that isn't properly taken care of. We need to replace our old equipment with new to keep everyone safe. And we don't necessarily need to replace every piece of equipment or even replace the expensive equipment. We can replace some small things that will make a big difference. And some of those items we already purchase on a weekly basis, so there will be no added cost. I have selected 5 items that need to be replaced to improve the safety status of our kitchen. The items that need to be replaced are floor mats, cutting boards, thermometers, gloves, and aprons. All these items are relatively small and shouldn't be hard or overly costly to replace and can boost our kitchen safety. Floor mats prevent slipping and falling. A lack of floor mats can increase the rates of slipping and falling because slippery surfaces will not be covered, and thereby there will be no traction for the employees to walk on. And old and worn out mats can lose their traction, thereby causing just as much damage as the floors without floor mats. Worn out mats can lose their traction and cause slipping and falling. And according to OSHA, 15% of all accidental deaths were attributed to slipping and falling accidents. And as well as slipping and falling accidents, floor mats that are old and worn out or damaged can cause microtraumas, which are injuries that happen over time. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health reports that slipping injuries will cost $50 billion a year. And that was recorded over a decade ago, and costs are continually rising. Floor mats need to be replaced to cut costs for kitchens, so they don't have to spend money on employee injuries, and floor mats need to be kept in good condition to prevent injuries that happen over time for the employees. Cutting boards are another kitchen item that needs to be replaced, because damaged cutting boards can house pathogens. Pathogens can cause food poisoning, which affects, as previously stated, 48 million people a year. In addition, from the Home Food Safety website, food poisoning will kill an estimated 3,000 people every year. If we can replace our faulty cutting boards, we can prevent the spread of pathogens and keep our customers safe. Another kitchen item that can be replaced that's small are thermometers. Thermometers check the temperature of food to make sure that the food has been cooked to the appropriate temperature. If a thermometer is temping food wrong, the food could be given to the customer undercooked, and thereby causing food pathogens to be spread to the customer and cause food poisoning. We need to calibrate our thermometers very often to make sure that they're temping our food right. And if they're not calibrated, they won't temp our food. And if after they're calibrated, they still don't temp the food right, they need to be replaced to prevent the spread of pathogens and food poisoning to our customers. If we can replace our thermometers, we can prevent pathogens and keep our customers happy. Another small item that we already purchase on a weekly basis are gloves. When people look at gloves, they think safety, and for the most part, they're right. In an article from the Washington Post written by Eliza Green, she quotes Barry Michaels, an international scientific consultant on food safety, who says, "Gloves provide a last line of defense against food contamination, separating food workers who are often under pressure to work while sick from ready-to-eat food." However, gloves need to be replaced when going from one task to the other, or they will foster cross-contamination and get people sick. Another issue is wearing gloves and not washing hands. If we wear gloves, we need to wash our hands regularly because our hands will be a perfect breeding ground for pathogens because our hands are moist. So if we wash our hands and wear gloves, we can prevent the spread of pathogens, and thereby keeping our customers happy and wanting to come back. The last piece of equipment that is small that we can replace that's easy are aprons. Aprons are donned by kitchen workers as soon as they walk in the door. They prevent food and grease from getting onto the employees' clothes, and they also prevent indirect contamination of food from pathogens from clothes. So if we can wear aprons and replace them when they're ripped and torn, we'll keep our clothes clean, and we'll also keep the spread of pathogens from our clothes to food, which then goes to customers. In conclusion, by replacing a mere 5 items in the kitchen, we can keep our employees from injury and keep customers and kitchen staff from getting food poisoning and cross-contaminated food. Replacing floor mats will help prevent hospital bills from injured employees, thereby saving the restaurant money. And cutting boards, thermometers, gloves, and aprons need to be replaced because that will keep the spread of pathogens. Preventing cross-contamination and indirect contamination will ensure that the customer has a good meal and that they will want to come back, thereby raising our profits. Replacing a few of these items will help us experience a much safer restaurant. Thank you for your time.